Ibunguo with a Yoda, and today this is a deep dive into Love's Island. A lot of my close friends, I think, are very, very good at when they put their art out, really being vulnerable and making it clear, where the emotion and the feeling is coming from. And that was something that I've always struggled with. I think there was always this fear of showing that level of like openness and vulnerability. But, these past couple months, I really wanted to challenge myself to do so. And Love's Island is the product of that. The opening scene for me is just a representation of like those intimate moments when you're really close with somebody, and so rarely do you get to see somebody so up close, right? I think overall the scene was really inspired by the agape, I hope I'm saying that right, but the agape scene from If Beale Street Could Talk.
That he was the most beautiful person I had seen in all my life.
I feel like Barry Jenkins is so good at his close-ups and portraying bodies and humans. And I really wanted to incorporate that and kind of bring that feeling into this portion, because I think it is such a unique and intimate way to look at somebody, right? This feeling of wonder, this feeling of like nostalgia.
I'm trying hard. I'm doing my best.
If you fall in love, you can fall out of love. Just love somebody. You might stop being in love with them, but you're not gonna stop loving that person.
This entire project but this scene particularly was very inspired by music. I really started with listening to Nothing Even Matters by Lauryn Hill. And I had that on repeat, right? And the words and the lyrics of that song. I think at the very end of Doo-Wop, there's this conversation that plays between school children. And so, they're discussing love and romance and dealing with it.
It's a difference from loving somebody and being in love with somebody.
And it's the same conversations, these kids are having that, 20, 21, 22, 23 year olds we're still having today. And I thought it'd be cool to play off of that, because so many of the questions that they were asking, I'm asking as well. And so kind of took the underbelly of Nothing Even Matters, and then took Lauryn Hill's, the outro from Doo-Wop, and then inserted my own words and my own questions to kind of create this effect of this conversation through time.
It's a difference from loving somebody and being in love.
I'm trying. I'm trying hard. I'm doing my best.
If you fall in love,
And then moving from there, I think visually what I really wanted to put in place is this feeling of nostalgia. I think this scene visually was really inspired by the opening scene from Lovejones. The film does a great job, I think, of just establishing warmth from the beginning. I love how its use of black and white and portraits combine to create a really nostalgic, warm feeling to the film that lays the tone for what's to come. All this comes to a head, and you're kind of left at the main question of, how do you know if something is special or not, right? And these kind of ideas of how do you do after moving past something or moving from something, mentally, how are you able to deal with these what if questions?
What made you think it was special?
I mean, was it different?
Another inspiration for this film was really love. And the main male character in the film is an artist. He's a painter. This scene is really an explanation of how certain things can really resonate for somebody. Going from, not just talking about art and experiencing it your own way, but being able to bring somebody else into that world and experience it in a new way, not just for yourself, but also for this other person, right? Creating this new mix. And to me, that is special. And that's something that I think is really beautiful. And big shout out to Wisdom, Nun, the animator, and Uzo, who helped me bring this together and like bring this like beautiful scene to light.
Have you ever been a satellite? Gravity hanging you by that twisted passion?
So this scene is one of my favorite scenes in the film. I think from a visual perspective, this scene was really inspired by Do the Right Thing. I think there's a shot in Do the Right Thing where a character, I can't remember his name right now, but a character is speaking to the assassinations of MLK and Malcolm X. And here I wanted to do the same thing and kind of frame what the advice, the character Abdul is giving in that same way as something that's worth hearing, that's worth giving to the world. And moving into the next scene, I have this reverse shot that moves to me. And I think here, the song that really inspired this whole film was Just to Keep You Satisfied by Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye's ability in this song, and just in general, soul artists have this ability to convey their emotions and a lot of times heartbreak in a way that isn't hidden behind toxicity or trying to be cool. The lyrics of Just to Keep You Satisfied are literally Marvin Gaye speaking on his perspective and speaking on his feelings in this experience. And I kind of wanted to do the same thing and match it, but just do it visually.
Strings. In the words of the prophet, they're a love hole.
This conclusion, I really wanted it to feel like, the main character coming to the realization of becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable and just trying to come to terms with the past, trying to come to terms with, previous mistakes, previous happiness, previous whatever. The underbelly, the track that I recorded this over is Naima by John Coltrane. And I love like the mellowness of that song. There's almost like a quiet sadness to it. And I think the scene, is a mellow one, right? It is a little bit of a reflective one, a sad, maybe not sad, but like a really reflective, mellow one. But at the same time, is this acceptance, this feeling of acceptance. Tried to play with fades here and craft this experience and this love letter to not just my experiences or the experiences of my friends, but just Black love in general and love in general. I love this transition here from my friends here to Darius and Nina, and right, this movement of going from we're using incense and obviously they're smoking the cigarettes, but these same feelings and these same transitions between romance.
Hoping we were everything. Praying we never were.